Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next comment or question comes from Minimog, I should say. And this is in response to No Boutique JX-10 SY85 Where Did You Buy the Driver video I did in March 2022. And Minimog writes, it's interesting why the JX-8P has got the legendary model status, while the JX-10 seems to be have gained more user engagement. I personally started with an MKS70 because it was compact and feature rich. Then I got a JX-8P because it had the most sheen in its sound. They all sound slightly different. I've got to be honest, I mean, it's something I never really understood. As I've said in previous videos, while the stature was always around the JX-8P, the community is concentrated in improving the JX-10 or the Super JX as it was known. By all accounts, the JX-10 was a far superior machine. But even though it used the same circuitry elements, there are reports of the tonal quality between the units is slightly different. I can't comment because I've not had a JX-10. I've only had an 8P. Enough to make a difference? I personally cannot say. I've never owned, had a JX-8P and a JX-10 in the workshop at the same time. But as you confirmed the tonal difference between the MKS70, which was meant to be the rack mount of the JX-10, and your JX-8P, that could very well be true. There's also the keyboard many synth players prefer is a 61 note keyboard, weighted synth, as opposed to the JX-10, which was a bigger 76 key keyboard, which of course meant a bigger case to host it. And this actually was, back in the day, and probably still today actually. I don't gig, so it's kind of not a consideration I really have. But if you have a bigger keyboard case, it's heavier and it's more, it's heavier and more bulky to lug around. So having a 49 note keyboard and a 76 note keyboard and an 88 note keyboard and a 25 note keyboard for various different tasks, you can turn around and say, well, actually, there's a reason why. There's a reason why, I want a smaller keyboard because of portability. Never really thought of that. Good one. The next comment or question comes from Harold Horse Posture. And this is in response to how to back up and restore patches on the Roland System-1. A video I did in September 2020. Harold writes, John, thanks for the reply to my System-1 post. I brought it new from PMT on the 22nd of February. There was a card with a registration code in the box, but I can't find anywhere to register it. It has not been registered with anyone else, being new. Must have been the last new one in captivity. I have no need to factory reset this, but the other one I own, bought used, had the SH101 plug out, but that's been factory reset. I'm not sure there are patches saved from the backup folder labelled SH101 plug out patches. I had to reset it to get any sound at all from it. And when I did this, as you say, it wigged out. But not in a good way. It's now with the Roland service agent. We both thought the previous owner may have bricked it with a botched update. Well, we'll see how it goes. Oh, that doesn't sound brilliant, does it? So when I bought my System-1, I also had a card that was in the box, and Roland then swapped to the Roland SoundCloud, and I had to ring up Roland support to get the plug outs re-registered, as they should have been transferred automatically, but guess what? They weren't. I think you're probably going to need to ring up Roland support to get the plug outs get the plug outs re-registered in the Roland Cloud and establish what the situation is if you purchase the unit new, as I'm not sure what you're actually entitled to now. Originally, if you purchased it new, whatever was on the machine when you purchased it new, and you register that machine, you should have got that registered to your account. But then, as I say, they moved from the Roland account to the Roland Cloud account, and kind of all bets were off. So yeah, the original plug out should have been registered to the unit. So under that model, having two units share the same plug out would not have been possible. But under the new Roland Cloud configuration, I can't see how they can stop you doing it. So you can have both machines sharing the same plug out because you just download it onto both machines. As I don't have two System-1s, I can't confirm that's the situation, but it does seem to be how it's configured. So that's kind of how, I mean, I've got a subscription. I can download plug-outs for both the System-1 and the System-8 onto either one. So but that wouldn't be proving anything in your situation. In terms of bricking the unit, there is a way to put the unit into a special mode which allows the operating system to be reloaded. I haven't had to do this, but it is especially as it completely reinitializes the unit and wipes everything completely. But please do let the channel know how you get on. Harold then responded and said the two System-1s I have are both different. One with the issues bought used had a SH101 plug out, which is what you said, seemed to work after the factory reset apart from said issues. The one I bought in February has a ProMars plug out, so I'll be aiming not to lose aiming to use the plug out for both. I'm correct in thinking that if you buy one, the plug out can still be used after reset, but no visual interference on the putter or librarian function. Never easy, is it? Since then, I got me a Gaia a week ago, and that works when set up on the computer. A much easier affair all round. Sounds too good. Well, you know, the bottom line is, unless like Roland have changed the posture on the plug out, it's registered to the cloud account. Simple as that. And it is what it catches so many people out when they buy these. As I said earlier on, buy these on the second-hand market. Sell estates that sell an instrument with a plug out, but the plug out is not theirs to sell. And as soon as you do a factory reset on the said instrument that you've just bought, everything works fine. As soon as you have to do a factory reset, that's it. Everything is gone. Yeah, and the other thing is you can't get the librarian functions without owning the plug out for what you're trying to be a librarian for. So that's also another gotcha. You know, they've really kind of screwed it down on this one. Upgrading the firmware normally will involve a factory reset, so if you're going to update the firmware, you're going to lose possibly all your plug outs. And as they haven't released one of those for a while, I think you're fairly safe assuming you're on the latest firmware. But we shall see. It's the whole cloud concept, while the VST side of it is quite good, the whole plug out side of it is an utter nightmare. Utter nightmare.